before. I expect big things from the likes of Draw and Turco. We spoke about them before. But the ban phase, will we see anything different? We saw Monty banned last time. This time it will be a Ying. And that's just one way of slowing down an attack. You know, you take away Ying, an operator who is very frequently used in fast-paced attacks, banned straight away.
I agree. I mean, basically with having those 4 Candelas, when you get basic control, think of a server execution for example, you can throw those Candelas in, you create all this level of chaos, and you can try and get that impact. And a Nook's going to get banned away. I mean, Gibby, you had to listen to me backstage enduring and talking about how this Nook play was going to be so critical. Didn't work out to be necessarily the case, but I do think on a map like Bank, Nook is massively influential. She can sneak around and find your blind spots very easily, so taking her away now is much easier than dealing with that random pop-up factor. And Jaylings will take a defense operator out now, and I'm intrigued about where this one will go, but to no surprise, it's going to be Azami.
Yeah, that's Azami. So then you're left with your 3 bans normally would ban, you know, your Kaid, your Mira, or the Valk. So assume it'll be one of those 3s. Might be a castle, but no, it will be the Valk. So no surprises there whatsoever. And you just get the feeling in Modern Siege, Azami, Valk, and Nook, they're the old Thatcher ban. You know, they've taken Thatcher out of the cage and they've put those on, and you just don't see them that often.
You don't. I mean, and also realistically, because a lot of teams likely scrim and prepare for these operators not being available, when they are available, teams might not bring them up necessarily. We saw that actually kind of a lot of time with Thatcher, you know, all those kind of seasons ago, all those metas ago, when he was always banned away. Thankfully, we're not there anymore. But to go into this one, top 4 will be the site of choice, getting brought out by LAN Party Hotel, and they have that castle in play. Now, this was a critical point of the last matchup, was how effective Castle is at making it difficult to play direct via the windows on this map, on this site, and that's going to give an extra level of comfort for all the players on the side of LAN Party Hotel. For Jaylings, 4 operators getting swapped out immediately. They saw the site, they've swapped out 4, and what I'll draw your attention to is going to be that Ossa pickup from Sam.
I'm looking at the pickup you have, and Sam with Ossa this map gives you lots of potential. You can use that Ossa really aggressively to try take Janitor and push the breach, or you can go on the windows somewhere where she can have a lot of success. But like you pointed out, Castle being in play really makes a lobby take a little bit more difficult.
I'm going to be like, they haven't broke the glass on these windows yet. Now, a lot of teams do that because it helps with sound propagation. They've not broken those yet, actually.
There you go.
No, he's just actually prepped it. So, I mean, he's going to do it. Okay, so I was a little bit worried that they haven't done their due diligence on the prep. And, you know, I don't think it's going to be a heavy window pressure. A single player out by the front of the building, that's going to be Leonski. The rest of them ascend themselves up to the roof, and some pressure already getting thought about inside of ATMs and lobby. That'll be Turco sending in a drone for himself, and he's going to try and position this as a late round drone, trying to watch it as quick as, well, on his namesake, very quick entryway already inside of cafeteria.
Yeah, and if a player for Jaylings falls as well, they can watch that drone if they want to play on the windows. It gives you that a little bit of security, which Leonski is now going to make the move to do. But you look at the position of LAN Party Hotel. They've continued that new trend of opening up the wall that looks in towards square. Jump out will come out by Mango. He says, thank you very much. And RX will run straight into the waiting arms of Turco. And, well, a 1-for-1 trade straight off the bat. You lose hard breach, you lose Leonski. But let's be real, Leonski has been around the scene. He will sit on those drones now, and he will give so much information to that team.
But you've lost your solitary hard breach, and this is going to be a problem. Now, the case is going to get recovered. I hope it will. Hope I haven't cursed anyone here, but you've got no option now then to just push a little bit more direct. You've lost that flexibility with what you can set up, and Sam will slowly creep forward and takes damage from the player inside of stock behind that shield. A Lion Scan goes out to try and give them a little bit of cover of movement, but for Jaylings, they've run into a bit of a brick wall. They need to clear stock to get pressure, but the player behind the shield won't peek out wide. They've got 2 nades that will withdraw, so you'd imagine he'll use those as Quick can begin to creep up as well. C4 on the case will get recovered, and that nade gets prepped and ready, but why get so aggressive and loses his life to Draw? That was a must-win from him.
Yeah, Draw will get traded out by Yuki as we're back into a 3 versus 3, but Drawn quick off the mark nice and early. Yuki getting on the board, a player that is, you know, I would argue is pretty underrated. He's a fantastic player for LAN Party Hotel. But with 55 seconds to go, what can they do? It's Echo, Castle and Malusi. Quick will take down Hunt Baby, so down goes another member of your defence. And well, whip it, 45 seconds to go. Yuki gets one and we're back to a 2 versus 2.
So Yuki in a very strong position right now inside of Janitor. He can lock this down with Turco on that window. Just such an audio cue. So Sam realistically needs to win this next opening engagement and rely on Turco to be there for a trade. Flashbang sent in, so that might give Turco a chance to repel on in, but he's going to get caught out. That sounds so obvious. A dinner bell rings out and Turco falls, leaving Sam alone against 2. And Yuki, well, locks it down, finds a 3rd in the round, and gets the opening for LAN Party. And J-Lings, middle stage of that round, they run out of steam. They were facing down an absolute blockade of LAN Party Hotel, and they had no solution to deal with it. And realistically, that shield inside of stock made Sam uncomfortable, couldn't push forward. They lose one player to it. It's a little bit of a unorthodox or a not enjoyable round for J-Lings.
Yeah, a lot more trades though than in the back we saw last time around, as these teams do play a lot closer together, and that's the way I think this game is going to go. Now, you think back, you look at the Oryx, jumps out the window early, gets traded, but you did get rid of Leonski. You've got rid of that Harbreach, which, if you're going to play on the windows, is not going to have the most massive effect on the site, but Leonski down, and we see what he can do in late round scenarios.
But realistically, in that situation, you have your Harbreacher on that window, you have an Osa outside inside of square. Like, you can open up that wall, play with the long angles with that Osa shield, and just lock it down. And I mean, I think a miscalculation of where players should have been, or just unfortunate that, of course, there was no one watching that window in preparation. They had a Claymore there, and the trade did arrive later as well. Just a little bit not ideal. And okay. Not the most common of things to watch, but there is an Aruna Gate on the hatch on this side of it. So, okay.
Yeah, look, I suppose it'll burn a little bit of utility if they want to push through it. A drone, flashbangs, smoke grenades. They've got plenty of it in the back pocket. Now, this is where Leonski playing Habana has a big impact, because there's no better operator in the game than open up hatches than Habana, the way things are. You've brought the Lion as well, just in case we saw a Kaid, which, looking at the side of LAN Party Hotel, they've elected not to bring, so they are going to get the hatches open. It's a matter of when and not if, depending on how aggressive LAN Party Hotel want to get on the roam, and it looks like Grun is considering making a move up to open area.
It looks a little bit like J-Lings haven't adopted the buddy system that we've seen them do so often. They're a little bit more spread thin in this situation, and I'm not too sure that's ideal. Demo mentioned that, you know, realistically on these maps can come down the trades, and Turco creeps himself closer and closer. Both of them with a shotgun, actually. They're going to brawl away with this one. 2 shotguns versus it, and that's going to be Hunt Baby, who comes out on top. The gate gets the finish, of course, but Yuki done all the damage. A smoke canister sent to cover his retreat. He can fall further back, but you know what? I'll give points for creativity to bring that shotgun to fight that position.
I like it. You could tell the whole plan was to push down through blue and take that player, but Yuki was able to match fire with fire, and he gets the kill, and he can continue to play this position. Now, look at Mango's spot. He's playing near and bouts as well with the Wamai. There's a bit of a genius hold being picked up here.
I've just figured this one out. So realistic, with Yuki holding blue stairs and Mango locking that down, Mango's standing elevated. That's going to trigger or stop the Aruna Gate from working. If he hears utility go down, like, guess what? Step off that box, and that burns away utility. A smart use of it, but now with control falling to Quick's hands, Mango's going to have to fall back, or at least consider it for the time being, as Quick has now gained access. He'll fall back now with Mango. I think he'll play deep inside a server as well, but early access, hatch is open, minute left in this round.
Yeah, and Hunt Baby now is forced back in the garage with Aruna, the DMR in hand, hoping to stop this drop through the hatch. Another one of those laser gates is going to be opened as Mango takes some damage this time, but he wins his 1v1 against Quick, and now we're in a 4 versus 3. There's the EDE. Hunt Baby still playing on the hatch, but this is a really tense round whippet as we begin to enter the last 40 seconds.
J-Lings need to find an opening, need to get one more pick to get this execution rolling, but not a lot of time to work with. Draw will be the front line for that, but Mango still inside of server is going to be the massive problem. They might have to make a rotation for this lobby drop, and already seeing one of those silhouettes doing so. One player's already dropped inside of elevator to try and put direct pressure. That's Leonski. A flashbang sent out, but Sam's going to falter. The player, oh, it's all over now. Mango gets one to draw, and it's going to be Leonski left alone. Avon shuts it down, but no trades. No trades from J-Lings. The biggest plus side from their game earlier in this bracket was how they played trades, and they've not done it here so far. LAN Party Hotel are getting freebies, they're getting picks, and they're not getting punished for it. And realistically, Mango, locked inside of server there, won that round, because you have a big problem. Yes, you might get side control, but he has direct access to try and fight for that retake. Unfortunate round for J-Lings.
But LAN Party Hotel have really done their research on the way that J-Lings like to push this one.
This is fantastic from them.
Like, they're playing on blue stairs, knowing that J-Lings want to take control there. You've got the laser gate in that position as well that you pointed out, just standing on the table, baiting it out, making those attackers use utility or potentially waste it. Then you trade a couple of kills, not necessarily traded, but they were late trades, if you want to call it that. Mango wins his one. That one against Quick was probably the most important one of the game. Didn't work out, and then Lamparty Hotel won the round.
I mean, I appreciate the fact that they quick backed themselves to take that fight, but there's no one there to trade you, and that's really dangerous because you know how high stakes that is. You don't win that fight, you don't get control of that, and now everything begins to fall apart for his side. So, third round, rotation set up by LAN Party, and it will be downstairs inside of open area. That's the site they brought out now. Well, with the castle in play, a lot of verticality getting set up inside or around that Archives Tellers area, or is above it on the floor or the ceiling of it, and they will very much intend to hold on to this top floor as long as possible, and they have the ability to fight if anyone does take that control directly below them. So a nice versatile setup with lots of options to work with, depending on what J-Lings decide to do.
Yeah, and it's like they pointed out in the previous game, Ollie and Demo, it's that checkpoint system that you have. You have to get through so many layers on the top floor before you even get near sight in this scenario. It's like you dropping Shrek in me.
No, it is an onion though. You begin to peel it away, and sometimes if you peel enough layers away, you begin to cry because it's just that difficult to do.
The key is to not make an emotional attachment, okay? That's the key. Anyways, we move on into this round. 2 minutes have gone by so far, and J-Lings are very slowly pushing through. They've not really taken control of any parts of this checkpoint system whatsoever, and we're seeing a little bit of a reaction and a rotate here in the distances. I think they've identified how tough it is to push this side, so they're going to begin moving through lobby.
So that drone going inside the lobby is already going to all kind of indicate what J-Lings is going to do. Hunt Paper gets that opening pick on the draw, and you lose your Yana, or you lose your Buck, I should say, which is going to be key for opening up vertical positions. Quick nearly finds that trade, and, well, they're going to try and go for the fight again. This time Draw does get it back, and I'll give them credit. I'll give that trade for J-Lings. That's what they need to do more of. Not give anything up for free, but LAN Party's still in good position. Lots of time being burnt away, and they force the offense to go a little bit more direct. Mengo will get one more on Leonski, and that's going to be a problem. You lose your Buck, you lose that extra utility, and it looks like once again they've run into a wall. They have no solution for this, and LAN Party's defense holding strong.
Yeah, and Sam on those ATM windows has to be really careful as well, as Avon will take down quick, but it's a DMR at long range. It's going to play into the favour of that defender on the windows. So Sam is going to move in through ATMs now. Turco will push through up towards Kanto. Is a big 1v1 coming right now, and it's going to be a bit of a whiff at the start. He hits the shoulder, and that will force that Aruni to fall back. Turco, very little HP, but with 45 seconds to go, LAN Party Hotel are just shutting down this attack, and they're putting up a red light in every direction they try to push from.
This round is basically won. Let's look at the piece of the puzzle. They got one player low HP, that's Turco. They have Sam with still utility to work with, and now, well, guess what? They've only got Sam 4 versus 1. The case is all the way upstairs inside a square. He's going to have to try and do an absolute heroic clawback, and it's pretty safe to say, well, he's a great player. This is going to be a little bit much of asking. Unless LAN Party absolutely grief it, and I don't think they will. So they'll lock this down. This has been a LAN Party Hotel that I expect to show up against Wild. This is well researched, well rehearsed, and they are doing a very good job of just making everything an impassable object. Sam will get one on Yuki, but top of the screen. You can all see the time, and that's what Mengo's going to put him out of his misery. For perfect rotation, all 3 of those defensive sites go in favour of LAN Party Hotel. 3 rounds, uncontested.
But in every single one of those rounds, they've put up checkpoints that J-Lings just cannot get past. And if they do get past them, they've already wasted a minute and a half before they move to the next one. So to me, they need to find a way of upping the tempo of these J-Lings attacks. And they're taking that tactical timeout now in that 4th round to make that change. You know, that's exactly what's happening. They're going to talk about the speed, and they're going to talk about the fact that it's not been quick enough. So they'll work on it and try to improve.
I mean, good decision. Time, you need to call it. Like, this is a point in the matchup where, okay, you've lost 3 rounds, and you've lost 3 rounds pretty convincingly as well. Let's identify it, figure out what's going wrong, and work on it and fix on it. Again, it's a team that's been together for a long time. They've been composed, they know that, they've been in the trenches, they know what they're doing here. But for LAN Party, I am really, really impressed with their strat book right now, how they're playing. They are making it so difficult for J-Lings to establish anything they want, get any map control for free, and for a team that we expected to be playing super heavy around that trade economy, they've been shutting it down, and that is super effective so far, evident by the score.
Well, that's the difference Castle makes as well. It's really slowing down these attacks, especially whenever you're trying to go through that checkpoint. So, we go back to the top floor. This is the one site where J-Lings maybe got the closest to winning the first time they played it, but there were some issues. They lost Leonski to the jump out very early. So will they adjust? Will they have a player keeping an eye on those windows to catch the player out very early? Will they decide, you know what, they've got a castle, we've got a sledge, we've got a Zofia, we can push up, they've got a... Yeah, this is going to go up through those gold stairs, right up main lobby, use the Monty, use the Zofia to get rid of the castles. Now, we are casters, probably wrong, but I think this time, this is exactly what J-Ling's plan is, straight in through ATMs. Okay,
it should be. That's what I would do. Now, I'm not playing for a reason. I talk about the video game. I mean, I wouldn't just give it...
at the game.
You have a point for, mate. You have a point for. Let's not even try. But they have a Monty. They can brute force one option here. So they have that access, they have that availability to essentially walk someone up and gain control. And judging by Swansea, we've actually nailed it right for a strat call for a change. Fist bump for that one, Gibby. We got it right for a change. So this is not going to be a match point Monty. They have a lot better resources to do it, and there's no one directly holding lobby. They've got to worry about the player on banana and inside of elevator. Now there's creative ways to clear both those positions, but if the hatch is open below the player inside of elevator, you can try and clear that with a nade below. They have the resources, you've got Quick and Draw who bring those HEs. It's just if they can optimize the use of Sam on that. And I'm an expansive drone here, but you should have the support doing this because you could already got this map control.
You need to be oppressive now if you're J-Lings. Try to just push them back. Hunt, baby, needs to be very careful in that position. You've got Yuki playing on top of Kanto, but it looks like the jig is kind of up. But I like the fact they're keeping a player. Zofia playing up by these windows will just keep Mango distracted from the push that will begin to come. 2 minutes into the round, they're not going to rush into it just yet, as Draw will drone it out to work out how this defense is set up. But Sam, reposition and whip it. He's moving up towards the windows. Are we seeing a little bit of a switcheroo coming?
A little bit of buyer's remorse in this one, though. But this is... They're taking so much time, and they have an idea that realistically the bottom floor is clear. Why isn't your Monty already in? Someone else should be joining ahead for him. Look how free this is. You can walk him up. You've got to clear 2 players here, yes, but you can get control. Finally, they'll walk Sam in. They're finally doing it, but this is a little bit late in the round.
Grun's got footholds. Grun is prone inside meeting, looking through footholes to try to catch the player following behind Sam. Echo will pop, and that actual angle, they've opened up the angle from Kanto, and that's preventing Monty from being able to push up. So Leonski needs to get this pick.
Yuki is now essentially locking down and stalling J-Lings completely. You can't clear him from the windows, you need to try and clear him directly with nades, either below from the open hatch or from the staircase. The Yokai Drone will help Sam drop that shield with those sonic stuns, and what with 50 seconds left to work with, LAN Party have brought this round to a crawl. You've got one player in square. He'll send the nade deep to Mango, and that's your pressure relief. You got some window pressure there as well, and that's going to be Turco. But J-Ling's going to get pressed for time now. This is going to be a real pinch to get this round done.
Yeah, this is not working the way J-Lings would have planned it at the start. Sam can see the angle, he drops his shield, and he's going to pay as Mango gets the kill. Looking through Banana, Turco not able to get the refrag. Quick is taking a lot of heat, but he pushes in as that pick will be picked up. Yuki takes down Draw as Quick has sight control. Avon's going to get one. It's a 4v2 as Leonski, with the case in hand, has only got 13 seconds to join his teammate. He gets the intel, he gets one. Grun will trade it out. The round is won now as just Turco doesn't know where to look. LAN Party Hotel 4-0 to the good, and this is a much better performance from our Czech super team.
I'm almost at a loss for words. I mean, that was the right strategy. I mean, I liked it. I liked that multi-push up inside of lobby. But every step of the way, LAN Party had a solution. Okay, you're going to walk a Monty up. Guess what? We've got a player inside of elevator. You're not going to challenge that below with nades or force it clear? I'll just say here, I'll peek from the opening that the Habana's even made. They'll put even more pressure. You've got a Yokai Drone that can stun and get some free damage on the Sam. Why not? Mango can play in a corner and contest square windows and stay safe and get that pick on the Monty. And once you lose that control, your key point, that key structure of the round begins to fall apart. 4 rounds, uncontested, from LAN Party now. And realistically, it's all down to how well they've played this. This is structurally and strategically a masterclass right now.
You take Echo out of that lineup the last time, that attack works perfectly, because that hole that was opened up by Leonski, it allows Leonski to hold the long angle through. But when Echo's in play and you've got that angle onto the stairs and you can use the Echo to drop the shield, really well played by LAN Party Hotel. J-Lings, I said, technically on paper they didn't really do anything wrong that round, but LAN Party Hotel just played it perfectly.
you can bring the perfect solution, but if your opposition play the perfect game, it's often difficult to break down. So structurally for LAN Party, it's going to be the same strategy brought out once again. We've already seen this, and I don't think they're going to bring a shotgun sledge. No, Turco's decided better of it, a little bit more of a diverse lineup. Top down clear from J-Lings. We've already seen drones being placed to do it, but LAN Party have not committed a lot to this roam. If anything, I believe. I don't think they have any realistic roam pressure out. No, they don't. So bit of a time waste here for one player, actually. One blue silhouette a little bit away from the side. That will be Yuki, and that's only inside of blue stairs.
Yeah, and 2 operators bringing soft breach with them as well, with the IQ and the Thatcher being in play, which is not something you see all too often. But I think the best thing now for J-Lings will be to identify as quickly as possible that there is no resistance in and around that ground floor. So take it. Draw is daring a player to push up from basement, but this is much better. They've got map control. You see the silhouette in the distance, but that's down in garage. So I know a couple of people got their pulse going there, but there was nothing to be grabbed.
Some mid-round reconstruction of the site, and a good read from LAN Party. They've detected that J-Lings will not do the same thing once again, and they're deciding to mix it up a little bit and give themselves some better options. Quick inside of tunnel, though, could be a problem. We talked about how essential Mango was in the previous time we went to the site of holding down security, and now if he's let to have free reign, it could be a problem once again. They can put pressure on from the hatch, and quick on side of that tunnel. This could be a problem. I don't think Mango's going to last too much longer.
Yeah, and they've cleared that laser gate as well, so he can't even do anything about that from the position that he is playing. But still, it's down to J-Lings to get the picks. Pre-firing down towards dirt, but really some support needs to come down those blue stairs. He's going to give away his hand, and Mango gets the kill, but he will be traded back the other way. That's much better from J-Lings, though that's the way they play. Quick, makes wastes no time, pushing in now. Another nade is thrown. Draw's going to take out Yuki with that one, as the utility is really having an impact on this round from J-Lings.
It's a very open situation with a lot of long angles to work with. This will intrinsically favour the offensive side. Quick will find a second one, and this is going to be a problematic round for LAN Party. You don't have a lot of denial. You've got one C4 in the Mozzie, and that's not going to be able to get used at all as Sam on the hatch shuts it down. Hunt Baby left in a 1v4. We've talked about his much potential, but surely not. He gets on the Sam. Am I going to start believing, or will J-Lings shut it down? Leonski should stick this plant, and Draw will shut it down, and J-Lings get themselves their very first round. It comes late, but better late than never.
Yeah, that was a far better round. They actually read what the defenders were doing and adjusted their attack accordingly. I'm really impressed with the way that J-Lings managed to break down the LAN Party Hotel defense that time around. So, we move on to round 6. And these next 2 rounds, round 6 and round 7, based on the scoreline, are incredibly important for J-Lings. You need a 4-2 split on bank at the bare minimum. Anything less than that, you may as well class that map as lost. But then, you always point out, the 7th round, your first round on your defensive phase, it's just as important. If LAN Party win that one, even if with a 4-2 split, it puts them commandingly in the driving seat again.
The question realistically is, can J-Lings keep this going? They read into 1 round, right? That's well and good. You got yourself your very first one. Now it's your last offensive round. This is the last round that you should know what your opposition are realistically doing. And again, strategy-wise, LPH not changing a lot. They're going to have the very similar. I think they're actually more focusing on the middle floor this time. That was what J-Lings primarily done and brought out. So why commit so much pressure upstairs when it wasn't really going to be an area of contention for the opposition side? I think actually they will do that now. So yeah, structuring the same setup once again. Can J-Lings figure it out this time?
Well, the only time will tell. Looking at the setup, they've brought the IQ once again, so not an operator we see him play all too often, but J-Lings are electing to bring it twice in a row. Once again, you've got yourself 4 nades in the back pocket. You've got Leonski with the hard breach, but the question is, where do you decide to push this attack from? Whenever all these resources are on the top floor, you would think to yourself the best push would be directly at open area or directly in the kitchen, but because of the positioning of all these LAN Party hotels, they can fall back pretty quickly if you elect to do that.
I would have been in an absolute shambles if Hunt maybe managed to tap someone on Skylight there. I would have absolutely not been able to handle that one. That would have been a bit of a blunder, but once again we'll find the shield outside of stock being one of those primary threats. Now, Draw's got himself in a position where the head holes or the angle set up inside of quad wall's not going to cover him, so he has to swing this wide. He's a little bit alone. Oh, narrow margins there. Mine pops up just in time, then he gets sent out, but he knows that will get burnt away. But as he retreats and tries to fall back, he's caught out with that DMR in the long-range hold, and this is now a problem. You got Turco who drops prone, but no one's going to get aggressive and peek, so try and take this map control under that cover of that EE1D.
Yeah, it's a matter of time here for J-Lings to do something, and just on cue, Turco will be able to find one. Misses the shots onto the player and Janitor by just a second, and Grun now may be able to make it pay, and he does get the knock, and he drops through the hatch, but it's a DBNO, so there's an opportunity for J-Lings to get the player back on his feet. 1 minute and 23 seconds to go is a lifetime on attack, but J-Lings need to get this res.
So they're very much focused on getting this player back. They've got a lot of resources doing it, and they realistically do get quick revive. This shouldn't be mission impossible for them. They'll get that done, but it's going to burn and eat away at time. They still haven't cleared the player in stock. They still have a shield. And you know what I see? That case is very, very cold indeed. Now, they've got Turco pretty close, who can now recover it, but that's going to get watched. And as he tries to pick that up, he's in danger of getting caught out from this swing. And he'll try and take this fight. No, he'll back away and think better of it. Under a minute left to work in this round. And that's thrown. Luckily, it done that little 180. Through the wall. Haven will keep himself alive for the time being. He's going to feel lots of pressure arriving, but he can just lock J-Lings down. They need to clear him, and they're all going to funnel in towards him. Can this Omai have an absolutely heroic round here? They're going to push into him. Quick shuts it down, leaves himself 30 seconds to get this execution rolling.
30 seconds to go, and you do have the sledge to open up that hatch, but J-Lings need to begin working towards the site. Grun is going to take down Quick, and that's going to cause a problem as you lose the IQ, and Sam looks like he's just going to force it in through Kitchen. Turco's there as well, but we have a player inside Archives. Archives is going to win. Grun gets the kill, and just like that, it's all down to Sam, but that's another fantastic round from LAN Party Hotel as they take a 5-1 split on defense on Bank. And well, they have just gone away with a robbery here against J-Lings. They're playing so well, and they're just cleaning up.
I wouldn't even say it was a heist.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, let's be, okay, it kind of was actually. That was well thought out, well executed, went down nearly perfectly. They did lose one round in that split. That is, round for round, a perfect counter to what J-Lings do. Every single time they had an answer. Multi-round, I mean, big example of that one niche pick to where, you know, J-Lings committed to kind of a quote-unquote pocket strategy, but every single time LAN Party set up a site, they had every single imaginable threat point figured out. They knew what J-Lings were going to do. And that last round, for example, they all just ran into one problematic area. It's one Romai. He's going to have, at best, 3 minutes. You can clear that. That's not a problem. Put someone on the window to control meeting room, and that's a much easier time. But just small decisions unraveling this round. They're not getting the trades that we know them for either. LAN Party, much better showing than what we saw on the opening day from them.
Yeah, much, much better. And now J-Lings need to do something on their attack. They've extended the ground floor, so they're going to keep some presence in and around there. Sam's position with Lord Chanka is to just, if they decide to push from that side of the map, they will begin throwing those flames over and try to just stop.
Just a Chanka. Just a Chanka.
Ah.
Nope, just a Chanka.
Ah.
Nope. Nope. You don't even ever get me to change my mind.
He's the best operator in the game, everyone knows. I can't even keep a straight face when I say it, but I love seeing Tachanka being played, because when Tachanka is used effectively and used right, great for setting up site, and his utility, when used right, is very good.
It's...
when used right.
When. It's difficult to use it correctly. I mean, the problem with the Shamika launcher is it is just a little bit random. It kind of just decides, I might deny the plant, or I might just not. Who knows? And that's the point. It's a bounce-based projectile. It's a little bit harder to hit. You have to be super precise with those lineups to get to work. And look how quickly LAN Party are doing this. Under the cover of that Lion Scam, they get on in, but Quick's been left undetected. They don't know he's here. They've got no idea. And he's going to probably sit and be patient for a very long time. Yeah, so they don't know he's there. He's going to pop up later and just cause absolute chaos.
Yeah, wait, you don't want to go and get that kill straight away, because there may be a second. You know, you might be able to catch 2, but Grun is completely unaware of his presence as he begins to take in and around the elevator. He is the solo player for LAN Party Hotel in the strategy that they are trying to do. Draw, keeping an eye for cams, is for J-Lings. What, you've got 3 players on site. Quick, oh no, another one. Quick is going to get that kill eventually onto Grun, but will the refrag come? Because Mango is in position.
But Mango's going to now peek it by himself, and Quick's going to get himself traded, okay? damage prevention done. LPH get that trade. They shut down quick, and now they've got the map to themselves. They need to worry about these Electro Claws, but with impact EMPs, not really much of a problem, considering you want to bring that Lion or a Dokkaebi anyway. So, yeah, get to open these hatches, and now they can begin going through the steps. They'll be able to open up this one inside those servers as well, and, well, bit for bit, they're going to get control. And while you might have the Chonka to start burning away time, you've already started doing it. Minute left to work with, and they might just push deeper around this Shamika launcher as well.
Yeah, this is where Sam's role becomes incredibly important for his side. Looking at the rest, there's still the threat of a push down main stairs from LAN Party Hotel if they really want to put pressure on the site. So Shamikas are still popping, but Turco is waiting for that drop down the hatch as he plays inside elevator. 30 seconds to go. Time is of the essence now for LAN Party Hotel. J-Lings just need to draw that line in the sand. So, there's that EDE scan. That's going to freeze those defenders in place. Mango drops through the hatch. Turco says thank you very much as he will take his first serving of that one. But look at the player pushing down through gold. Hot Baby's going to find Sam. He's going to get a double as he gets draw, but there's Leonski to trade back Yuki. And now the case is going to go down. Leonski gets one, leaving it all down to Hot Baby. He tries to get Leonski, but there's the support down by elevator. And that was a bend but not break defense from J-Lings that time around.
They needed it. They absolutely needed that one, and they get it done. So, I mean, it was Leonski once again. Critical pick there to be able to find it. If Hunt Baby was given free run to be able to have Chaos, it could have been a huge problem, but round number 7, it's that swap from attack to defense. It is one of the most important rounds that you can have, and they get it done. They get themselves one round back. It's going to be a 5-2 scoreline. A long way to go till they're level. And a lot of chances for LAN Party still to get themselves on the map point, but I like what I've seen defensively from J-Lings, at least in the opening round of their defensive split.
Still a long way to go though. You're so far behind in this situation. You need 4 rounds just to force overtime from this position, which is not ideal. And we are on a rehost. This is something J-Lings aren't stranger to from the game last week, but we're not going to see Leonski jam this time. That's the one thing. Leonski kept the vibes high for us.
He did. I mean, I think everyone in chat enjoyed a little bit of him jamming away. Sam read a book. Leonski went to bed at one point last week as well, but I don't think it'll be a case that time. So we'll go into a pause, and it's a little bit of a reset for these players. They can try and figure things out and where they're going. But must-win round for J-Lings, that one. They needed to stop the momentum from LPH, and they did so in pretty good fashion. And while, you know, Tachanka is not the most favourable operator, the amount of time burn Sam presented there was very critical to holding out that round. He was able to keep sending those Shamikas at well-timed intervals, keeping them out of sight directly, and forcing them to commit via those hatches and getting more direct, which, when you try and get a little bit more direct or have to drop those hatches on this site, it tends to be a little bit of a gunfight kind of parade, and it didn't work out that time for LPH.
Well, you feel like in that basement defense, you need either a smoker or a Tachanka, somebody who is able to slow the push.
Goyo.
Goyo has the same impact as well, yeah, and Goyo, of course, has pretty good secondary utility that he can use in that scenario too, but...
And a Vector with a 1.5.
Yeah, Goyo's good. I know you like Goyo, but it's one of those situations where you need a time delay operator to play that position. Yeah. It's necessary now with the way that Siege is going to play. Look, I know that we're going to a different game here, but you look back to APAC, some crazy things we've seen with Tachanka, Smoke, Echo, and we've seen Goyo in the same setup. 4 operators being used in the past. It's crazy the things teams are doing to try slow that push through server.
That's APAC though.
APAC's fun to watch. CAG.
They do have the best team in the world. They do have the best team in the world.
Oh. Whippet is a fan of CAG, just like Demo.
Who isn't?
He's literally spent a couple of days in Paris with Demo, and he's the biggest CAG fan I've ever seen in the world. I came
to Paris already, the biggest CAG, second biggest CAG fan behind Demo.
Well, we'll find out how they will do it in a couple of weeks, but we've got a more pressing thing to worry about right now, and that is who is going to progress through the next round of the lower bracket.
Well, it's difficult to tell now, I think. J-Lings have showed that they still have a pulse, that they haven't given up. That's a good sign from this team.
Yeah, they do have a pulse. Turco.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
You wanted to do that so much. I could feel it. I could see the grin on your face.
You said it. You gave me that. Was so easy.
I can't escape puns. I can't escape them when we work remotely. I can't escape them when we work in person. they're always there. But I mean, a pulse, good one. I like it. I do like it because you can get that free utility or that free information. If you see someone above you, you can, well, someone's above me. And if you don't see someone there, that's just as valuable as well. You can make decisions off of, well, the absence of pressure. Quick, we'll look to try and take an aggressive position outside of ATM and a good drone network established. All these rafters, or these light ceilings, all around main lobby. Can they work with this one? I do hope for LPH's sake, if they can get the opening pick, they will find themselves in a good position, but they haven't identified the pulse just yet. That could be a problem this round continues to play out.
Well, one good drone in lobby gets you so much intel on the rest of the map. Hunt, baby. We'll get the opener, and down goes Alibi, just getting free reign on the windows early on in this map. And Turco needs to be really careful
Shotgun.
as he is going to hit the deck and drop below. Draw's going to get one through the wall as Mango is going to get decapitated. And now Leonski is down in the bottom floor as well. You've got two defenders now playing below, and Yuki is already right up on that top floor. Turco will get one with the C4. But you gotta say, is for this defense on this floor, J-Lings have chewed up a lot of time.
They have, and well, he missed the shot towards that Alibi base, and he's going to pay the ultimate price for it. Grun loses his life to Leonski, and now this round begins to get a little bit problematic. Yuki will get one. That's going to be Leonski traded away. A single isolated one here might unravel this round, and well, the pulse of attention is very much looking up. Draw gets close to Avon though, and they might get themselves in very close contact very, very shortly. The pulse isn't looking down yet, and Draw will feel some pressure above him with that skeleton key opening up the floor, making him feel every bit of pressure from the verticality, but he's still undetected. He is still unknown. He'll play patient. He'll play alert. He will just wait, and every second that passes benefits J-Lings.
It does, and Avon is going to drone, and was he spot? Yes, he's going to spot out Draw, so his position has now been given away, and there are two players who could potentially take him out. You've got the Buck above, and you've got Avon who is playing below, so Buck is actually going to reposition himself back up to the top floor to provide some support. He's going to spray down towards Draw, but Draw is going to be able to push a little bit further. He's still alive. He's eating up so much time, and Whip it with 30 seconds to go. They don't have the case, but Avon will get the kill.
Case should get recovered here, and I think it has. But you have a pulse that can relay all the information you could possibly want, and a Maestro with 81 rounds to send down range. You can drop on it. It doesn't even matter though. Yuki shuts it down, and Turco with a shotgun up close and personal. It might have been an up.
You got excited.
I did. I thought we were going to see him hold it with the shotgun. But for LPH, that round looked absolutely miserable. It looked to be almost a lost cause. The player holding and locking down Draw wasted so much time. Took them so long to clear him, and Yuki just drops straight down, finds that pick on Maestro. That one won the round. That one won the round. Well, Turco, if it was any other shotgun, that was a pumpy shotgun, he probably would have won it.
A little bit of sixth sense too. You know, they waited a while. We're going to drone. We've sat in this position in Archives for a long time, but let's just drone tellers to make sure there's nobody there. And surprise, surprise, there was Draw. But it is the fact that instead of just leaving a player in a 1v1, Buck, who was halfway down those marble stairs, went straight back up and played the verticality. It was a prime example of when in that 2v2 scenario, how to isolate your ones.
Also, they didn't panic. I mean, LPH in that position, how many teams have we seen get flustered? You can see the way they move, the way they act. They decide to go, it's hero play time. They were right, we got two players, we're against three. Let's try and isolate a fight. Oh, is there someone in tellers beside me? Oh, what, there is? Let's get a drone. Let's put vertical pressure on him. Let's try and win that fight, and then we move from there. That was very well done from them. They utilized every single second they had, and they were not feeling that time crunch. You had under a minute left to work with. You had around 40 seconds, and they stayed nice and relaxed. Right? Very good sign of a well-drilled, well-regimented team.
So, match point, the first of many, and we're not going to see match point Monty because Lamparty Hotel have learned from the mistakes they've seen other teams make.
What would that team be?
Who's?
What?
Yeah, but look, it's pretty much a scenario now for J-Lings where essentially you've lost this map. Bank has gone in favour of Lamparty Hotel. So what positives can you draw? Because the good thing about this is it is a best of three. So it's not a simple one and done for J-Lings. If they get into that next one and have an impact, they'll be able to still potentially progress. But Mango will make this round a little bit more difficult for J-Lings as he will manage to get the opener. And down goes Oryx, the operator who can have so much fun with all the hatches, has been taken down. And well, that is a brilliant first pick, and Sledge's going to pick that drone back up and use it for another time.
And they've got so much time now as well. Quick does have a capture drone, so I guess they got that live feed information. Expect a C4 kill off of that one. It's already pre-placed and ready. So I'd imagine Sam's just waiting. He's even pinging it and prepping it for his teammate who will watch that accurately. That will be his down teammate as well. 2 pre-placed C4s. Now, I like it, but if you find yourself feeling a little bit of pressure on site, that's not going to be easy to recover. Those are already committed. If those don't land, it's already a waste of utility for the time being, and Quick will try and reposition as best as possible to get himself an angle, but Yuki will just chew open this door, make every position a little bit more uncomfortable. Avon will lock down that doorway from Square, and this is going to be a very difficult round from J-Links.
And they just spotted one of those C4s on the cam as well. So
they know.
They know that they're there, and they'll be able to clear them with that sledge from above. But still, you've only got a minute left. The numbers are still in the favour of Land Party Hotel, but the longer time goes on, the stronger J-Lings become. So Yuki will begin to open up that floor. Yep. There's the C4 that does blow. Not the first one, the second one that they didn't catch on a cam has an impact, even though we'll take down Sam. Hunt Baby's right up by reception. Turco will manage to get a kill onto Grun though, as you've got a couple of J-Lings players in pretty isolated positions.
I love Turco's position right now. He's got long angles galore to fight with, but it doesn't matter if your teammates fall around you. Mango is going to get that pick on the Leonski. 3 versus 2 now, 40 seconds, and Turco with the DMR will try and brawl his way. He spots one player by Marble. He needs to land those shots. Avon goes down. Quick will hold the line for the time being. He's given information on the player who might push his doorway, but the pre-fire lands and connects. Turco now left alone in 1 versus 2 to keep his team alive here on Bank. 25 seconds, got all the information he can work with, but they know exactly where he is. They know they can lock him down, but they're not going to go get that case down yet. They're waiting until he got solid information. They can't really get it down either. Look at the line of sight he has to work with. He'll rotate long all the way by Square. This is certainly winnable. They don't know where he's pushing from. The cover's not even looking the right way. The case should go down. It does go down, and he gets one. He needs to find one more. Hunt Baby, who's been a clutch maestro so far for his team. Can he find it once more? Turco, one of the best for J-Links. He'll dodge that flash. He'll try and swing wide. That DMR punches like a truck. But Hunt Baby will play it passive, play it locked down. But Turco looks to get aggressive. A must-win fight for both these teams. Can Turco get it done? He does.
Oh, he does. There was a little bit of a delay there as he kind of looked at his enemy, but he eventually got the shot, and J-Lings will win another round. Very, very good retake in that scenario. He got away with one, but he did a great job to rotate back round and get that defuse.
I mean, okay, so was funky moment that we just had there, but realistically he done all the work. He looks very smart rotation. I mean, they thought, okay, he's going to rotate by Marble, he's going to use the more direct avenue to try and deny this plant going down. He rotates all the way from Square, pushes in, gets that cover, who was not expecting it at all, and was able to win that one. I mean, Turco came out clutch. Give that 1vx to him, keeps his team alive, gives him that extra chance. We live to fight another day.
Well, you're starting to crawl back, but it's still a long way to go. They need 3 rounds just to force overtime. Their best bet now is to win this game in overtime. So, what can you do to claw back? They're going back to basement, a site that they managed to win very successfully earlier on in this game with Tachanka. They've swapped out the Tachanka this time around. They're going to bring the smoke, but it's pretty much the exact same concept that you're going to play from that position inside of the hall. You look at the other operators that they've brought in place. You've got yourself your Echo, which can slow down the attack and provide information. You've got Mute to prevent information from going the other way, but they need to keep Draw and Quick alive. Those 2 players, the Oryx and the Vigil, whenever you're playing on basement on the roam, are the players that need to be a thorn in Land Party Hotel's side.
The roam presence needs to realistically last to the mid-stage of a map, so you can fall back. Yeah, I mean, I would say a fallback at the middle point of a round is pretty good because you've wasted time. You probably took one with you as well if you're able to get that successful fallback. But Bank's not the easiest map to roam on. You need a lot of setup to do so, and Draw will tuck himself in the elevator for the time being. I'll like to play a little bit stealthy. Quick will be doing that as well. He's on that Vigil. He'll be difficult for these drones to track down, and I'd like to see them play in tandem, playing with each other, or at least in close proximity, to pounce on lone stragglers LPH, or trade each other off if needs to be. But early days still in this round.
Yeah, I love the position that Draw's playing as well. We saw Spoit use this position really well at the last major too, getting kills. But look at Yuki on the hunt. Draw's going to get one. He almost gets the second, but Yuki shoots him down. But you've still taken down Iana. That's 2 nades taken out of the back pocket. And Quick now, hearing that, did he just try to bait the hatch drop?
He might have done, but they should expect someone in this position anyway. This is very common these days to spot it out, so they should be able to detect it. Leonski's on that Yokai drone, and they'll try and get his live information best as possible to help support this presence, or this pressure into the elevator. Green will try and vault down and make some rotations, but right now, a little bit of a stalemate, mid-stage of the round. LPH need to get some information, they need to get this next pick, and realistically, they want to clear Quick away, because he could be an impact later on. More verticality getting opened up around him, chewing up every position possible, but they don't know exactly where he is, and he's dropped in and dropped back to site.
Yeah, smart decision and good game management by J-Lings to not stay and fight, especially in a scenario where you need to win the round. So now Leonski becomes a pretty powerful resource now for J-Lings, as he will begin to use those... Oh, well, I was about to say use them to get intel. He did get some intel, but only by bullets, as he wasn't able to spot out the player who is still above. Quick, playing below the hatch. Leonski will cover him as he rotates back to site, but we're entering the final minute. 4 players against 4 players, and Lamp Party Hotel are pushing for map win.
Sub 1 minute left to work with, and I don't know if there's any Yokai drones even left on the field, which could be a huge blow. The opening and that hard bridge utility now gets sent up, and they can try and work this almost like the old school now. The bait utility wipe. The smoke cannons are the first to go. Next, you got to worry about C4s, and then you also have to hold onto your flanks pretty well. Turco's inside of elevator, and they're expecting a drop, but from the side of LPH, it doesn't look like that's any part of their intention. They are going to go for a pretty old school style of take, and well, they might have to get direct via the hatches above blue or above red, and I think that's exactly what Yuki's going to go for. Cautious as someone deep inside, and Sam goes down. Sam goes down in this moment. This could be the catalyst. LPH might just pounce on this one. 17 seconds, the case should go down. A perfectly placed nade goes deep inside of Volpa. Turco gets one, finds a second one, the case won't go down. Hump Baby gets slaughtered by Leonski, leaving it all down to a bloodbath. LPH just uneven, and he's got no time to work with. Up close and personal with the bearing 9, Leonski shuts it down. Huge moment for J-Lings, and once again the basement holds strong for them.
And that was a 1v1.
That was huge.
Yeah.
They needed it.
Sam was down, so if Leonski went, that was a map win for Lamp Party Hotel. But it was another crazy scenario where J-Lings looked like the round was lost, but a little bit of magic, little couple of kills in the kill feed, and somehow J-Lings are back in. And at 6-4, they're going to start to believe. Lamp Party Hotel will want to win this one as quickly as possible, because things are starting to look a little bit wobbly on these.
You know what scares me, Gibby?
Overtime.
No.
The dark.
The dark is pretty
Working with me.
That's true.
Paris.
Okay. Oh, hey, I like Paris, actually. I like Paris.
It's a long list of things that scare you up.
Okay, I wasn't actually asking for the list, but you know what really does terrify me inside of Rainbow Six Siege? And I'll specify, because that's also a massively long list. It's that one more round mentality teams can tend to fall into. I'm worried for LPH. If they can't manage this, they have had a pretty substantial lead, and while J-Lings aren't knocking at the door yet, they've pulled in the driveway. So LPH can now see them now showing up again, and can they manage this pressure? Because when you're in the lead, when you have a substantial lead like they've had, and you let rounds slip away, and you let close rounds slip away as well, that came on a 1v1 as you mentioned, it begins to play on your mind, begins to be a heavier burden on your shoulders. So hopefully they can manage it. For J-Lings, momentum's all with them. Can they keep that rolling?
And considering the leads that J-Lings had last week in the upper bracket, to come back from a deficit like this would do them the world of good from a confidence standpoint as well. Quick is going to use that 1.5 times on the alibi to look at the player who may be repelled on the window, as they're still, with 30 seconds gone in the round, creating that top floor, that maze that they can use to fall back towards site whenever they need to. So, your Lamp Party Hotel, you've set up this defense yourselves, but interestingly enough, the big problem for J-Lings was the shield by stock. J-Lings are not playing that.
I think it's a different style of defense, at least here. They've not really committed a lot to stock pressure at all. Sam's down below, and I think he's trying to contest really be a problem if you vault in those double windows. And Sam gets that, exactly as I mentioned. Mango vaults on into 2 stock and gets caught out down below. Yuki gets a trade back on the quick and will play to try and find more damage. I think Draw took a little bit of beating there as well, and falters back all the way from Marble Stairs. Opening picks go traded out, and well, so far kind of a neutral playing ground, but Mango is off the boards, and that's a problem because that's been LPH's best player so far, and losing 2 nades off the fry. Not a great start utility-wise.
Yeah, and Sam is only now going to put down that second Maestro cam as well to get more intel on what's going on, but with 1:30 to go, this defense is working out pretty well for J-Lings. Yes, you lost a player in a trade, but you're going to be happy enough with the way things are going. So Draw, playing on blue. He's going to make a late wrap up blue stairs if he needs to. But look at the kind of turtle defense that J-Lings have gone for other than this one last roamer. 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. this is the point now where Lamb Party Hotel need to create as much verticality as they can.
So Jennings have given control here of Tellers. I mean, Archives is now locked in. Avon has that control. They can contest it with Draw, I guess, who's going to be in close proximity. That drone will spot him out. So Groom now knows, and they now know he's in that elevator. So he thinks he's got all the surprise. He thinks he's going to be the stealthiest player. He's about to pounce and make a worldly play. But they know he's there, and Groom's going to walk in. He's going to open up that wall, and he's going to put direct pressure on him, and he gets shut down by Avon. Doesn't even need it, but he wasn't as stealthy as he thought he was going to be. Now advantage sits at LPH. 40 seconds left in this round. Then all guns seemingly trained on the potential drop down. Circle, we're a drone hole, but not the time to be looking at that, I believe. 30 seconds. Jaylings, you'll feel the pressure now. You'll feel Land Party knocking at the doors. More verticality getting opened up, and a smoke grenade tossed deep inside of small office. They choke out as much time as possible, but Turco takes a mess of damage from those verts. And Land Party, they're so passive, and the nade below catches Leonski. Gifted a freebie from the god. Sam will survive one more nade as well, but they're already deep inside her sight, and just like that, Land Party Hotel take blank, and they take the very first map of this series.
And they needed to win that round. They really needed to win that because Jaylings were starting to build a massive amount of momentum. So, map number 1 has been won by a very good technical display from Lamb Party Hotel. They done their research on the defense. They won the game on the defense, meaning they had very little to do when they moved on to attack. But whip it after that one, you have to say Jaylings need to switch it on, or else they could be making a very early exit.
This is a scary prospect for the side of Jaylings, because now you have to play this map like your life depends on it, because it really, really does. You lose this map, you lose Villa, guess what? Your CL run ends very early. But I tell you what, I can't wait for our desk to break that down. So to the desk we go.